how's it going, everybody? What's up? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to jump on the bandwagon and we're going to talk about some things that everybody's kind of upset about right now, because that just kind of seems to be the thing to do at the moment, because everybody is literally at each other's throats. I don't think I have seen the Escape from Tarkov community so angry at each other at everything in a very long time. This has been a wipe where people have been very vocal about it, and with good reason. I mean, I've definitely got my own grievances. I've got a list of a couple of things here that we're going to go through. Is it unjustified? I don't think it is. It's pretty annoying, a lot of the stuff that we have to deal with right now, and I'm just gonna say this right now at the very start. Personally, I don't think the Streets patch was ready. I think it was rushed out. So we're going to talk about a couple of things today, and I have them all listed out here, and the first thing we're going to get into is the performance. So it is no surprise to anybody that Streets doesn't run very well. So at least for the first, couple of days of the wipe, Streets was brutal. I can't weigh in on this too much, because at the time I only had a 3950X. As of today, I got my 5800X 3D. Now I can play Streets with really high FPS, like 100 to 120 FPS, and it's great. But that doesn't excuse the rampant lag and desync from the player end of things on Streets. So you guys will know, if you've happened to do any Streets raids, especially during daytime. If you do nighttime Streets raids, you don't get this as bad, but the rubber banding is brutal. It is like, what is happening? You are just snapshotting around the place. You're running in place. You're running somewhere. You open a door, you go into a building, and then you just snap, you're back outside again, and the door isn't even open, and you're just running in place for everybody else in the raid. I haven't seen desync like that since the first year of me starting to play Tarkov. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know what's causing it. I have a feeling that it might have to do with there's just way too many PMCs on the map, and I think it also might have to do with there being way too much AI on the map, especially at the very start of the raid. I did say this on stream the other day, and listen, if you disagree with me, fair enough. But I think for the time being, until they get that issue solved, they should just half the player count on the map. At least then you're taking a lot of pressure off the network side of things when you're not trying to account for however many people can even be in a Streets raid. So if you just reduce it, maybe it doesn't even have to be half. I mean, 30-40%, just to alleviate some of that, so at least we can kind of smoothly play out the raids without all of this network desync going on. So a lot of people are very upset about that. Streets performance is not great, but it will get better eventually, yada yada yada. Time to talk about the elephant in the room: the audio. For me right now, if they reverted the audio to how it was last wipe, I'll take it. Just get rid of it. I don't know what in the world is going on with the audio in this game right now. For example, for anybody who doesn't know, if you are on ground floor, first floor, second floor of Shoreline, and somebody runs by you and you're on third floor and they're on ground floor, it sounds like they're standing right next to you. You can also not hear people on the roof when you're in West Wing, unless you're in the basement. Whatever happened, a lot of the occlusion zones in the game for audio got completely mangled. Well, I don't know what happened, but it's the same thing in dorms. It's the same thing where there's any verticality. I didn't think the vertical audio could get any worse. They did it, and by God, is it spectacular. There is also something really weird going on where certain occlusion zones, where if you're in a building and then you have a doorway and somebody's on the other side of that doorway, they make zero sound. And when they're shooting their guns, they sound like mega suppressed, even if they're running like a loud gun. It's really strange. I've had it happen a few times in a few different places on customs. It's happened to me a few different places on Streets. Yes, we can all agree, the lads, the audio, not ideal. I would assume that since we've had complete radio silence from BSG for the last little while, I'm going to take a wild guess and say that they are absolutely nose to the grindstone right now, trying to fix whatever happened to the audio. I'm going to take a wild guess and say they tested it in a very minimal capacity, and then they pushed it out, and then we all discovered first day of the wipe that once you introduce 12 people into a raid and everybody's running around in dorms or Shoreline or interchange up and downstairs in the car park, even in the car park and interchange, if somebody runs by you and they're upstairs and you're in the car park, it sounds like they're standing right next to you. Sometimes as well, people will run by, it'll sound like they're standing right next to you, but they might be 30 meters away outside, just running on pavement, and it sounds like they're outside your door in certain areas. This happens on Shoreline when you're inside some of the rooms. For me, that's gotta be number one. Whatever about everything else this wipe, everything else I can kind of forgive, I can forget, but the audio is making it so I can't play some of my favorite maps because it is that frustrating. It is infuriating when you go to push somebody and they're not there, and then all of a sudden they're like behind you, or people that just roll up on you without making any sound at all and just kill you. And even when you're wearing contacts, it doesn't make a difference. There's been so many examples of people that have just made zero sound. I'll like walk out of room, there's a guy just standing there, and I'm just dead. Yeah, very frustrating. So guys, I know a lot of you guys that are watching this are also dealing with these issues. Trust me, if you don't watch the streams, I'm right there with you. Okay, I am right there with you. A lot of the community is right there with you. I just have my fingers crossed that BSG are working on it right now, and there will be a patch hopefully soon. Hopefully sometime within the next week or two. Ideally, please, ASAP. Now, next thing, cheaters. I just said I'd mention this because I know if I didn't, people in the comments were going to say, oh, but what about all the rampant cheaters? I'm going to say the same thing I've been saying for the last couple of years about cheaters. Guys, it's the start of a wipe. It is the most profitable time of the year for the people that cheat in EFT and do RMT and stuff. And this is where we're going to see a massive upswing in cheaters. Now, does that make it okay? Of course it doesn't. But it's just kind of the way it goes. Neither BSG, nor the community, nor BattleEye, nor any anti-cheat for that matter will fix that. It's a case of you just gotta ban them as you go. You're gonna die to cheaters, and does it suck? It absolutely sucks. It is the most annoying thing ever. Died to a cheater on Lighthouse yesterday trying to do a quest. For those of you that don't understand, because there seems to be a massive misunderstanding in how anti-cheat works, okay? Everybody says BattleEye sucks. BattleEye doesn't suck. BattleEye is very good at banning people. It's also very good at detecting new cheats. Now, the problem is how the system works. Now, the way it works, it'll detect a cheat, and then it'll go, right, we have these flags. If we see those in common with all these other accounts that are playing that are being reported, we're going to group them all together, and then we're going to ban them all together. The issue is they don't do bans on a one-by-one scenario. They group everybody up, they catch everybody using the same cheat, and then they'll ban them after like a week. The cheaters have a bit of leeway, but it's also the most efficient way for the anti-cheat to ban a lot of people that are cheating. Because if you ban somebody one by one, the big problem is they'll tell the cheat manufacturer, hey, I got banned, and then he changes one line of code, and then BattleEye has to go back to spending a couple of days trying to find the cheat again. So it's not as clear cut as the anti-cheat is bad. It's not about that. It's just the way that it works. This is apparently how it works. It could be a little bit wrong on that, but that's the general idea I have on it. So that's the problem with the cheaters. Cheaters will never be a solved problem in any online video game ever, unless we get some kind of really sick AI-powered anti-cheat. But then we're going to get AI-powered cheats that are going to be just like humans, and then we're going to be playing raids with robots. And, you know, like, the cheaters aren't even playing. It's just this AI cheater just zooming around, sucking up all the LED X's and red key cards and killing everybody. But let's hope that day doesn't come anytime soon. Now, Lightkeeper. So a lot of people are saying Lightkeeper isn't ready. Lightkeeper isn't ready. They just pushed out the patch, but he's not ready. Blah, 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 blah. I think that Lightkeeper is probably ready to go. However, people haven't completed the quest yet in order to unlock him. I'm pretty sure that you're going to have to complete a lot of quests. We've started seeing these pop up on Twitter where some people are finding them and people are trying to figure out how to do them. And the requirements are kind of insane. This is going to be an exceptionally late game thing for people to do. It is not going to be something that probably most casual players are ever going to see. From what I've seen so far, the requirements are extraordinary. It is something that I'm going to be grinding for this wipe, obviously, because I want to see Lightkeeper. I want to get it unlocked. But depending on what he has, maybe future wipes, I might give it a pass. We'll see. The way I'm assuming Lightkeeper is working right now is that they're kind of time gating these quests, and they're going to pop up periodically, so that we're all not rushing straight into the end game. Kind of the same way that they're sort of time gating some of the other quests in the game, which I very much dislike. Some people have said, oh, I don't mind it because then I log in the next day and I've got another new quest. I got another new quest. I got blah, blah, blah. And like, I get that. But also at the same time, why does it feel like I'm playing a mobile game where I complete one thing and then I'm time gated until I can do the next thing, except I don't have the option to pay money to get it now? The first example I had of this was Gunsmith. So I usually do Gunsmith quite late into the wipe, and then I'll do them all in one go and just kind of get them done and out of the way. And usually I'll do it at the end of a bad day of Tarkov, because I'm like, okay, I've had a day of Tarkov. I've lost a bunch of my money, but I'm going to use this last 2 million or 3 million rubles I have to finish my Gunsmith quest. And then I go in and I do them and I do them and I do them and I do them. And I found that this wipe, I kept getting time gated. And I was just like, oh, this is annoying. So what? I have to wait until tomorrow before I can do the next Gunsmith quest? It ended up taking me like 5 or 6 days, I think, to like finish Gunsmith altogether because I kept getting time gated. I don't really like that so much. I would much rather if it was level gated. I just feel like that would make more sense. Like, why is it time gated? That's just my opinion on it. you know, it's just one very minor little thing. So I think I've gone over the main points that everybody's kind of been off about. Lads, if you guys have any of your own inputs, leave them in the comments down below. Let me know what your biggest grievances have been. If you guys have made it this far in the video, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. I appreciate you all. And with all that being said, I'll see you guys on the next video.